Hi everybody, Gabby Wallace here. This is Go Natural English, and today I'm talking about an academic English topic for those of you who are getting into the area of writing research papers or doing research projects. So today I'm going to review the 5 types of research methods, and you should be familiar with these names and what they mean as an academic, as a student at the undergraduate level and getting into graduate level studies. Okay, so 5 main types of research methods. I'm going to start from the lowest effectiveness and go to high. So some people would say from the easiest method to the most difficult method. So I'll start with the first research method is qualitative. Qualitative. You can remember this word because it looks like quality. And qualitative research is basically describing the qualities of the topic that you're researching. So you might observe a topic that you're researching. You might interview people about the topic that you're researching. It's basically a description of the way things are. And when I think qualitative research, I think feelings. It's a little more subjective than the next kind of research that I'd like to talk about, quantitative. The second kind of research method that I'm talking about today is quantitative research. And this looks like the word quantity. So you can remember this word because it has to do with numbers. Any kind of research where you're going to compare numbers, for example, from a survey or from the results of a test, anything where you're looking at numbers and the results from numbers. For quantitative research, you might ask how much, how many, how often. You look at the frequency of events, or you might look at survey results, test scores, anything where you're measuring a number. Okay, our third kind of research method, we're getting into higher level research, more grad school level, correlational analysis. So this is a little more difficult than qualitative or quantitative research, or it can be more difficult because you're comparing 2 or more different sources of information. To correlate is to look at a connection between different sources of information. So you're looking at the strength of a relationship between 2 topics. For example, teachers' qualifications and their students' success. These are 2 different topics. You can see if they're related. You might see if they're related through quantitative research. So while you're looking at a correlational analysis, you might have to use another kind of research to get you to analyze the correlation. Okay, so that's our third research method. Let's take a look at the fourth. Fourth kind of research method is experimental. This is a scientific method where you have 2 groups, or maybe more than 2 groups, but one group is a control group, and the other group you intervene, you apply some treatment to. So for example, I'm an English teacher. Let's say I have 2 English classes, and they're relatively similar. Let's say they're the same level. They're both intermediate English classes. And let's say that all the students are from the same country, just to make this easy. Let's say all of my students in both classes are from Japan, and they're all between 22 and 25 years old, all at the intermediate level of English, and there's an even mix of male and female students. So they're 2 very similar groups. One class I just teach as normal, that's my control group. My other group, I might try some new method of teaching. That is my intervention. So then I can compare the results from 2 classes, and that is my experiment to see if my new method of teaching worked, if it was successful, if it helped my students or not. So that's a simple example of experimental research. There's also quasi-experimental, which my example would actually be quasi-experimental because I did not choose my participants randomly. So it's important to have a truly experimental study to choose participants randomly that you are intervening with. So that's impossible to do with my example because I have my 2 classes, they're already separated. I can't randomly apply my new teaching method to certain students in both classes because that would be unfair and unrealistic. Okay, but we have quasi-experimental, which is not randomly selected, and experimental, in which you randomly select the people or subjects that you treat differently. Great, okay, let's look at our last kind of research method. Meta-analysis is a research method where you look at similar studies and you compare them. So you're looking to synthesize or put together results from several studies that are similar, that applied a similar intervention, okay? So, for example, if I'm looking at whether my new teaching method would be effective, I might look at other studies where teachers have used the same new teaching method, maybe, for example, using videos like this in the classroom, and I might compare the results that they found to see the average, to see the synthesis of the results. So that's meta-analysis, and because you're drawing from a lot of different studies, a lot of different people's work and the results, it's the strongest out of all the research methods. But it's different. These methods are all different, and you have to choose the right one for your project and your assignment. But it's good to have a basic understanding of what each kind of research means and what is involved in each procedure. So I hope that this presentation helped and that now you're a little more familiar with 5 main types of research methods. Thanks for watching. I'm Gabby Wallace. This is Go Natural English. Good luck in your research and keep watching my videos. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.